Hi everyone, here are some pictures of the night before me prepping with all the chicken and the vegetables and making the sauces. You'll hear me doing a little voiceover as far as what I'm doing with the sauce and my vegetables for the cabbage. So here you are. Right here, I'm making my own personal jerk sauce so they can marinate overnight. I got my cabbage. There's a nice Jamaican cabbage. We also got the vegetables to go in our rice for tomorrow. We're going to have peas and rice tomorrow with some coconut milk. It's going to be fire. So I just wanted to show you what I'm prepping tonight for us to have tomorrow. Again, here go the sauce I'm making to go in the chicken. I'm pouring in the chicken, let it marinate overnight, come back in the morning and put everything together. How the sauce is looking. Once I put it over the chicken, I'm gonna mix it up and show you how it's gonna look. Here I have my cabbage getting started. I have olive oil in a pot and I'm adding some butter. Once I get them melted down, I will add my garlic and my onions to saute with a few shallots chopped up in there. I have my cabbage mix already chopped up from the night before with all the herbs and vegetables I want to put in there. I have the full recipe ingredients on the beginning of the video. If you like the full recipe, let me know in the comments and I will add it in to the description bar. So I'm adding the cabbage, the carrots, onions, garlic, shallots, all of that chopped up already. Once I get it cooked a little bit, I'll add the fresh thyme in there and seasoning, the jerk seasoning, Jamaican jerk seasoning. So in the back of that, in the red pot, I have the kidney beans for my rice and peas in the back already cooking, getting started. Once that's cooking, I can go ahead and finish making that, bringing it to a boil. I did the kidney beans in a can, so it'll be a little bit more quicker. But down here you see me stirring the cabbage mix and getting it ready. I'm adding the frozen bell peppers in now. I'm gonna toss that a few more times to get a nice, colorful, flavorful cabbage mix. This recipe was very good and very enlightening. So here, I'm stirring it some more. As you see in the back, my beans is starting to come to a boil. I'm adding the rest of my cabbage mix in. I did just a little bit at a time to make sure it all get coated. Make sure everything get nice and evenly coated through. Stirring that up some more. Get it down in the gritty. Yes, I do have bigger spoons, but at the time I just happened to go with that spoon and kept going. I do have other cooking spoons for it, but I was moving that little spoon. So, okay. Look at the fresh thyme getting put in there. And my jerk seasoning. Added some through. Getting it nice and coated on the top. Get my handy dandy spoon. Stir it some more. Get it nice and coverly coated everywhere. I'm also, you will see me adding some tomatoes that I chop in there. I didn't put them in there because I didn't want it to make it soggy too fast or anything. So I waited till the day I made it to add the tomatoes in. I added some more jerk seasoning on top, just to make sure it get nice and coated. As you can see in the back, my beans are starting to get to a nice boil. Finna get ready to add my vegetables in today. Here go my tomatoes. They fresh out my garden too also, so that's a plus. Getting chopped up off screen. Like I said, everything is in the recipe on there. Okay, here go. I started off with my beans out on the stove in the front, and I got them in water. Then I have switched them. But yeah, started getting ready to put start my cabbage another moment. I keep starting it through so like everything can get cooked evenly. I don't want like some pieces harder than others. As I come to the tomatoes, they're getting added in now. I let everything cook a little bit too before I add the tomatoes. Then once I add them in, I give it a nice handy dandy nice stir again. Let them get throughout the cabbage. I do a lot of stirring, I see. Letting it cook for a little bit. Here I go with my vegetables that's going in my rice. Fresh ginger, shallots, onion, green onion also. Now I'm putting that in there now with some garlic. My beans had came to a boil now, so now I'm stirring that in. Once they come to another boil, I will add my rice in. But first I have to rinse the rice. I have jasmine rice that I'm using. Adding some seasoning in. Some of my jerk seasoning. So the vegetables can cook in the flavors. And I'm finna get ready to add the coconut milk into there. Yes, that's the canned coconut milk. Bam. Stir that in, get it nice and creamy. Get rid of them nice little chunks. Like my rice nice and creamy and fluffy. So I'll come to another boil. Cabbage, and I come back to stir the cabbage again. Get a nice little stir in. And now I'm rinsing the rice. Making sure you get all the starch off of it. Get it nice and clean before I add it into my peas, aka my kidney beans. This I would do a couple more times until the water is more clear and do not have that cloudy looking water on top. So yeah, I'll proceed to do this a couple more times. Just showing you how so now come back to the pot, stirring my cabbage some more. As you see in the back, the beans is coming to a nice boil with the coconut milk and the vegetables. And here I'm finna get started with my chicken. I'm adding some olive oil to the pot. Also, all these recipes are at the beginning as far as the ingredients. Full recipes can be added later. Adding my rice into my beans now. Yes, I'm getting every drop of my rice. Every piece. So I'm scraping that in. Then I will get my spoon and stir it. Get a nice mixing throughout. And then put a lid on for 30 minutes. And let the rice cook with the milk and everything. And get nice and fluffy and tasty. A few things I am doing off screen, like you will not see directly, but there I go. I put the pot on, the lid on the pot. So now I'm finna go back to my chicken. I've been having my chicken marinating overnight. I made my jerk seasoning sauce for my chicken marinade the night before. That's when I chopped the vegetables for the cabbage. Here go my sauce. My chicken legs, nice and saucy. That was a great sauce, honestly. So I got it on, getting nice and hot. Medium high heat. I pretty much cook everything on medium high heat almost. Because I'm pretty much always in the kitchen cooking it, so I'm watching it at the same time. So here I'm adding my first chicken leg in. And then finna just add them all in, lay them so they can get a nice coated, beautiful jerk seasoning look. That was some wonderful chicken. Here I'm adding them all in. And then I'm going to pour the rest of the sauce into the skillet with it. So it can still cook with the sauce that it marinated in from the night before. Let that cook on each side for a little while. Then flip them over and cook on the next side. Pretty much what I do there. Look like I'm doing something off screen. Could be rinsing dishes, because I like to wash my dishes as I go. I don't like to have a bunch of dishes when I'm done. Oh, here I go. I'm adding the lime in. Fresh lime squeezed into my beans and rice, aka my peas and rice. I also did it into my cabbage too. Made a nice tangy taste to it, depending how many you use or how much you like. You gotta use a whole lemon in each one. Did a little stir. Make sure it ain't sticking too much to the bottom. I'm gonna put my lid back on. Let that finish its time. Come back. Give my cabbage a nice little stir. Gonna make sure everything cooking evenly. So I got my chicken on, my peas and rice, and my cabbage. Look how good that's looking. Beautiful cabbage. That's my peas and rice. As it's cooking, my chicken as it's cooking, how it's looking. Nice and bubbly with the sauce. Look at that. Can't tell me that's not gonna be fire. Yes. Here we go. Flip. Look at that. Bronzing. Beautiful. Yes, I'm using tongs. And they're kind of long, so I had to really work with them. But that's okay. There we go. Flipping another one. Look, that one tried to jump on my hand. You get flipped too, please. Okay. Mix the sauce a little bit so it don't stick. I use the non-stick skillet also for this. Let them flip, cook a little bit longer. They got a nice, beautiful, beautiful picture there. Nice sauce coated on there. I got my peas and rice done, nice and fluffy and beautiful. You see the nice herbs throughout it, my cabbage. Very lovely. And here go my jerk chicken some more. And here I'm finna make my famous Dave's cornbread, which I love so much. Yes, that is a very good cornbread. I started off with one bag, but I realized how big the pan it was I had. It's a glass pan. Made sure I butter it first. Got my oven on, preheated to 400. So I ended up making two bags. They come in a big box of 4 I got from Walmart. I love this cornbread. My son also loves it, Siah. Sometimes he help me cook. Sometimes he be too busy trying to play the game or make his own little videos. So here I'm cooking by myself most of the time, if he not occupied. So here I go, I'm buttering a nice pan. Getting it nice and coated. Famous Dave's cornbread. 1 egg, 1/3 cup of milk, 1/3 cup of water. If you use 2 bags, you double that. This one I made the first batch. I'm like, yeah, I got this. End up going back and making another one because, yeah, I like my cornbread thick, not thin, and nice and fluffy and buttery. So here I'm adding the milk in. And the water. Here I'm gonna get the stirring. Start my liquids in first, and then I add my egg in last. Once I get it nice and coated. So this one I just had 1 bag. You can tell it's not as thick. I added my egg in. Booka. Stir the egg in. Give me a nice creamy batter. Make sure everything's stirred in. You can do this by hand, or you can do it by a hand mixer or KitchenAid mixer, whichever one you want to do it by. Whichever way is quicker. I did it by hand though. I'm used to it by now. So here I go. I poured the first little bag in, and that's when I mainly realized, okay, this is not gonna work. That's alright. Get that in there. And yes, I scrape every little piece. Times is hard. Like, you gotta make sure you get everything. So now I got 2 bags in now. I mixed the other one off screen. See, it's nice and coated on the bottom. So we're gonna put that in the oven for 400. And when it comes out, we're gonna nice and buttery that mug up.